All right. Well, thanks for joining again. This is my second part of the talk I had earlier. There aren't enough minutes in an hour to get all the localities, so I'm going now for the second part, which is actually only 4 localities, which are all situated to the south of Lagerzee. They are 2 small ones like Teutjesberg and Zeekante, and 2 relatively big ones and more known to people, like the Wannekuffe and the Steinbroek-Kasper and Ettringen-Belleberg. The third one I do actually as one, because the localities are adjacent and there's the same mineralogy and geology. First locality is the Teutjesberg. It's an active basalt quarry. You can see the picture on the right. Minda lists 24 minerals. I only have one, but it's a very nice one. It's actually, they are white spheres of aragonite, and they light up pretty nice if you light them from above, but you can still see they are nice spheres. The Wannekuffe, again, an active quarry. This time it's a pumice quarry, and the Wannekuffe is more known to the mineralogical people. And Minda states 49 valid minerals, and I have a few of those, so I will be showing you those. First of all, enstatite, which is a magnesium silicate. It's nice, bright orange yellow, and they are all prismatic crystals. It's a bit of a jumble here, but they are well recognizable, and there's some good terminations on those. The host material is sanidine matrix. This one I encircled, it's mullite. Mullite is always forms spherical aggregates of acicular crystals, and they always are radially shaped, like to form a circle. But you can still see all the separate crystals in the sphere. Well, rutile, one of the 3 titanium oxide minerals. Here it presents itself as a nice black, almost lustrous small crystals. Again on sanidine matrix, with some pyroxene on the left, dark green ones. I have no clue which one that is. It's a whole jumble of pyroxenes and kleiner pyroxenes, which you can find in the Eifel. Like I said, the sanidine is the host material of the pumice, and here you have some nice colorless crystals on some yellowish sanidine crystals, and to the right of the picture you see a pseudobrochite crystal. This one is a bit difficult because here you have not only sanidine, but also white tufts of topaz intertwined, pseudobrochite, dark pseudobrochite crystals, and some cellite crystals, which are those here. Sodalite. Again, there is a discussion on Minda about the white sodalites. I still call them sodalites until they convince me otherwise. And again, it's on sanidine matrix. Topaz. This time it's not very acicular crystals. They are well crystallized. It's a bunch. They are not very large though. The field of view of the picture is only 4 millimeters, but you can clearly distinguish the crystals, which are relatively thick for the area. Well, Steinbroek-Kasper, that's a very famous quarry. It's an active quarry in leucite pfefferite lava, nice and scarce, and it has a lot of xenolites. Well, like I said, the adjacent, you got the Ettringen-Belleberg. It's actually one complex. in the next picture, you can see the Belleberg volcanic field. It's, this is the volcano, this is the lava field, and here is Castor Quarry. So it's all in the neighborhood. Mineral list a staggering number of 261 valid minerals and 24 type locality minerals, which is quite a lot. I just named a few here, starting from A to C, and C to F, from F to G, J, from K to F, P, and from P to S, from S to Z. I've got quite a lot from the Belleberg and the Castor Quarry because I collected there myself in the 80s. Adrianogite occurs as orange browny platy crystals, but always with a lot of other crystals in the neighborhood. I only stated 3 other ones, nepheline, siderbrokite, and sodalite, but on the whole sample, which is about 2 centimeters in diameter, I counted 10 different minerals. Makes it hard for me to catalog. Echimanite. Now, echimanite is light yellow to orangey, also plated crystals. So here you can see the difference between previous ones. It's difficult to distinguish the minerals between them. This one I got analyzed, so I know it's echimanite. But again, you see this sanidine, nepheline, some andesite. So a lot of different minerals in just one picture. Now and then you'll find some nice almandine crystals, which are always dark brown. You could mistake them for andradite, which then has the variety melanite. I'll show you in the next one. This is actually the melanite. And you can only distinguish them because of the association with other minerals or do an analysis. Brownite. Brownite occurs as small black crystals on sanidine matrix. Next one is a type locality mineral, brown millerite. It forms not very well-defined crystals on a limestone matrix, and they're always red brownish, but mostly not well terminated. Like I said before, calcite in the entire Eifel is not very well defined. It's mostly a mumble jumble of forms and shapes and things. Here it is with amphiboles in matrix. These are the calcites in the middle. Well, colominite is difficult, but it's the very small crystals just above the orange andesite crystals. It's again a type locality mineral for the Castor Quarry. This is a nice one. I didn't find that one, unfortunately. I bought this one recently, and it's a cordierite, and it's nice striated brown crystals in the cavity, quite blocky. There are more on the specimen, but I only took this photo for the best one. Again, with some pyroxenes on the side. Sapphires. Yeah, you can find sapphires in abundance there. Mostly not as well defined as these I have here. Normally it's just a blue hue on the dark crystals of siderbrokite. Well, in this case, you can, on the left one, you can see the blue hue, but there are definitely well defined crystals. Crystalloylite, silicon dioxide, higher temperature one instead of the normal quartz, forms lumps of colorless crystals. Mostly, they do crystallize well, but in very, very tiny. And I don't have the equipment to show that to you, unfortunately. So I will have to get better equipment. This one I also didn't get. It's Eifelite. It's also not my picture. It's from the dealer who made a perfect picture. It's the crystal in the middle. And actually it's rather large, 4mm field of view. Normally these are very, very tiny and they're always tucked away in cavities in the matrix. This is a difficult one to photograph. It's white colorless prismatic and ettringite crystals, also type locality mineral, on solid ettringite matrix. So white on white doesn't always give you the best picture you want. Firelight in the red circle, small brown crystals, in this case with andesite on quartz matrix. Another rarity, this one is also from the dealer, also type locality mineral, and here the field of view is only 2mm, but it shows nice tabular colorless fluorite crystals. Difficult name. As you see in the color on the upper right hand corner, it's rare. This is a nice one. I found this one myself. It's a fluorapatite crystal with color zoning. The tips are black, changed to gray, and in the middle it's brown. Very pretty, I think. Then a not so aesthetic specimen. It's fluorelstadite. It's a blue-green mass, solid in matrix. But then again, it is a mineral. Fluorite, just like the rest of the East Eifel, all the fluorites are always in spherical aggregates. There's one which is not completely spherical, but you can see the bulbous form on the underside. And it's they can be white or colorless, and they can form steps. Because on Henk's webpage, you can find really nice ones, which are stacked spheres on top of each other. Kilonite, orange-yellow crystals, not very common. It's here on a matrix with some garnets. Don't know which ones. Probably andradite. I'm not sure. This is even worse. Gismondine calcium. Have to retake that picture, but in the circles you can see colorless platy crystals, not well developed, a bit triangular shaped. Gudsenite. Well, gudsenite normally forms sprays of acicular crystals. Here I found a cavity in the pumice, and it was littered with crisscrossed white gudsenite crystals. Bear in mind, the field of view is still 4mm. Hydrocalamite is also an uncommon mineral for the East Eifel. It's colorless and very difficult to see on a white background. So it doesn't show that well in the photo. Hydromagnesite you can always tell because it forms nice spheres, white. Some people don't find it an attractive mineral. I actually do. I have several from all over the world, and they always look nice. Almost like a tapestry of spheres. Jasmandite, another type locality mineral. Jasmandite actually doesn't crystallize very well in the Eifel. It always forms grains in a matrix form. This is a very large one. Normally they are smaller and a little less dark, so more light green. The mumbo jumbo in the middle is genite, white acicular crystals, which form clumps, always forming cavities. Here with sonidine and I think crystal baylite. That's a very rare one, chrysolite. I have no crystals from it, so it's just a massive piece, solid piece on the matrix. It's white. It's a sulfate. This is a silicate, a calcium silicate. It's a larnite, after the type of locality Larne in Ireland. It's also not very common in the East Eifel. Lebanite. Minder doesn't state that it's found there, but it is found in the Lage Zee area. So why shouldn't it be found in the Casper quarry? Because a lot of the tephra there are from the Lage Zee eruption. So I wondered why Minder doesn't have it. It's brown-yellow sprays of small crystals with green epidotes on, I think, sonidine matrix. Magnetite. Well, it doesn't crystallize as beautiful as the ones from Italy, like the Vesuvius or the Mont Somma, but it actually is magnetite, black crystals on the matrix. Mullite. Mullite can either be very thin acicular crystals forming spheres, or the next one, more stocky crystals, also forming spheres. Nepheline. I managed to get a photo in from a group of nepheline crystals which are just standing there. Normally, it is very difficult to distinguish the nepheline crystals from other minerals in the base material, but this one I got lucky. Colorless crystals of nepheline. Portlandite, another uncommon mineral. Portlandite. It's not as obvious in this picture. It forms tabular crystals, mostly hidden away in matrix. I encircled it so you can see them. Pseudobrochite. This is a very nice one. I also found this one myself. It is with quartz on matrix. It's a single crystal. On that specimen, there are no other pseudobrochites. That's cool. Just get a single one. Pyroxferrolite. It's a rare one. It forms black-gray, almost greenish-looking prismatic crystals. It's an iron silicate. And the pyroxmangite is also an iron silicate. They form a dark brown crystals. In this case with sonidine. Pyrrhotite, not very well developed. They are dotted on the matrix, but they do occur quite often there. Côte d'Avin, very small crystals, always in cavities in the pumice. And I encircled the one crystal I've got, but it is well terminated. Type of locality mineral, around the brown side, forms pink masses, almost never crystallized. That's over here. Rhyolite. Rhyolite is quite common, well uncommon in the Casper quarry, and it forms pale yellow crystals, mostly as a bunch. So it's difficult to show you a single crystal. It forms all together. It's not very aesthetic, but we have to do it. The next type of locality mineral is rondorphite. Orange, not well developed crystals, and very small. I I managed to capture one sanidine crystal on its own. There are other sanidine crystals in the neighborhood, but the one in the circle is, well, very neatly terminated. Actually on both sides, so that's cool. This is a weird one. Charagenite is also a type of locality mineral. They form microcrystals and are very ugly. This one I had analyzed because I didn't know what it was. I thought it just was andesite, but it wasn't. Joy Desor analyzed it for me. So again, the white sodalite crystals, and you can also find spessartine crystals there. Again, this is not mine, unfortunately. I bought this one, but they are rather well developed. And again, on a sanidine matrix. Spinel is difficult to spot in this picture. And circle one, you can see the triangular shape of one, and they form colors from black to white to colorless. It says here pale yellow. That's not correct. It's actually darker. But maybe the one in the top right hand corner is indeed pale yellow. But there are several colors in one piece. The next type of locality mineral is the stratlingite. It forms light green crystals. Again, it's rare. The next type of locality mineral, the ternocite, is also rare, and it forms pale blue, blue-green grains, which can be easily distinguished because they grow on a white background. It's in quartz matrix. The tobamorite, white radio-shaped groups of acicular crystals. There is some wilhelmsonite in the picture. Difficult to spot, but it is in there. There are colorless crystals which you not really distinguish here, but here are a few. And you can actually have to see it through the microscope to spot these. Tridymite, the next SaO2 variety, also high temperature. They form colorless crystals, sometimes very well developed and sometimes intergrown. Volbertite, more common than you think. You wouldn't expect a vanadate to show up on the Eifel minerals, but it is there. It's yellow-green, and it forms very small crystals. So actually it is, these are the volbertite crystals. Wadelite. Wadelite are yellow-green crystals, also very small. But I've got a whole bunch of them over here. So wollastonite. Wollastonite forms colorless acicular crystals. Well, acicular, they are prismatic actually. And although it says it is widespread, it's actually the only one I found with wollastonite here. I found wollastonite in the Harz, but only this piece in the Eifel. A single brown zircon crystal. It is not terminated like normal zircon crystals do. It is actually a blocky thing, but it is a zircon. And again, I'm at the last quality. It's Zeekant. Zeekant is actually a group of quarries which are all abandoned and are now a nature reserve. And the Zeekant name is actually derived from the fact that it was near the Lage Zee. So that's why it's called Zeekant. I have one type of locality mineral, and that's the Belbegite. It's colorless, spear-shaped crystals, and in this case it's epitaxial with Levine. Like I said, this is a shorter one, but I couldn't fit the other ones in the previous presentation. So that's all, folks.
That's very, very good. Short and sweet. Very good.
That was great.
Half an hour. I thought it was an half an hour, yeah.
Yeah.
I have an observation, first of all. The Casper quarry with 240 odd species, lots of them, like if you do a quick click on calcium in the MINDAT list, a lot of them are calcium bearing minerals.
Yeah.
A lot of them are black or brown or white or colorless.
Correct.
Which makes it very difficult to distinguish.
Yeah. You definitely need a microscope to see the crystal shape and the, but the association with other minerals gives it away.
Right.
And that's where that new tool comes in handy from Jolly.
I had a look at it. Great tool.
Yeah, it's really good. One that was particularly interesting though was, I think it was the melanite garnet was in limestone.
Yeah.
Was that mainly in xenoliths, or is there a limestone body?
Yeah, in xenoliths. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I was wondering about where the limestone was.
And like I said, in the Casper quarry you have xenolites, so, and quite a lot actually.
Yep.
So that's why you get a large number of minerals there, which you won't normally not expect from volcanic regions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask exactly the same question. A lot of those specimens that were on Sanadine, I'm presuming that the Sanadine is decayed phenocrysts or xenoliths or something like that. You're not getting crystals growing in gas cavities per se. You're getting them in the matrix as, gotcha.
Yeah.
I noticed there's not a lot of zeolites.
No, actually I haven't found just a few.
Well, Will Hendersonite is a zeolite. So as well.
Yeah, Hendersonite and Gizmodine. Check. There are a few, but not many. Not like the lava fields.
No.
And
the ones that weren't oxides or silicates or rock forming minerals tended to be sulfates and the like. Post
sulfates, carbonates.
Emplacement. Yeah. Really interesting.
It is actually an interesting area there.
Quite different to what we're used to here in Victoria, where it's all the secondary minerals and the zeolites and the like.
Yeah, it's interesting with the pseudobrookite only having the single crystal on the specimen.
Yeah, this is. I've never seen that before, really.
It's actually quite common. We've got some scoria quarries down here that have pseudobrookite, and quite often you'll get just one pseudobrookite in a cavity. But then
I can show you
another...
a dozen or more specimens from the area there, which have multiple pseudobrochites.
Yeah. Interesting.
Do you find that you'll have an assembly of cavities, each with a different assembly in a rock, or are they all? If you get a rock, is it all the same assembly in the rock, or do you find that there's variation within
within the quarry? You have areas like more saying there, which are pretty much the same, and then if you just move 20 feet to the right, you can get something completely different. It's really nice.
I did notice that you missed one mineral in one of the last quarries that you looked at, the abandoned ones. Ice.
Yeah.
You should have a freezer full by this stage.
I didn't have a slide prepared for that. Sorry.
No crystals? Oh, I'm so disappointed.
No.
Frank, I get specimens over here labeled Locker C.
Yeah.
Is that the same? Is that a different locality, or is that really encompass these localities?
What you get from most dealers, which are not from the area, you'll get labeled Lager C, Wannekoffe, or Belleberg. Actually, those are all the same areas.
Okay. You
can walk the distance between the Casper and the Lager C. Really, it's It's that near.
Any other questions?
I was
Very good. Very
one
good.
last comment though. You mentioned that you want to get better equipment. Don't.
Yeah.
You'll waste so much time taking better photographs.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, you're
Yes.
probably right.
Well, Itzevich is joining us. He's an hour late. No, half an hour late.
But any
Yeah,
questions?
well, I mean,
Come on.
there's time. We could do the talk again.
Yeah. Yes, half an hour, so should be fine.
Ed, sorry, we just finished. I'll get it up.
Yeah,
on
I couldn't fit that one in the last one because then it would be over an hour. So I had to
Oh.
make a split.
That was good. That was good.
Very good.
Very much appreciated. All right.
Yeah, so in the future it will be the Vulcan Eifel, which I did not discuss yet. So which is the western part of the Eifel.
Yes.
Mm.
And how many sessions is that going to be over?
No, probably the same, one or two.
Okay. All right. Well,
I have to start on those, so I don't have them ready yet.
no, that's fine. There's plenty of time.
Next year, probably.
No, it's good. All right. Well, it's an early finish for us.
Awesome.
It's good. It'll give me time to hopefully get the video sorted out a bit early.
I assume you recorded it?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Providing there's no technical issues from this point on, it's good.
All right.
But you never know. Might
Yeah,
have
well,
power
most of you
outages.
guys are coming from far away, not from the European mainland and not from Germany. So I thought it would be nice to show something where I actually managed to find most of the stuff myself there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Although a long time ago in the 80s.
I think Minda mentions that the access is strictly limited. It says this is for the Casper.
Yeah, the
Quarry.
Casper Quarry you can only get in if you know one of the main Eiffel collectors, which have a special permit.
Yeah.
And if you mail them in advance that you are coming with a group. You can get in.
Yeah.
In the 80s, it was not a problem.
Sunday morning, 8 o'clock is usually a good time.
Yeah.
That's the time we got in with Richard and one of our friends.
Yeah.
Then we went in the pub afterwards and had a drink, so that was all right.
Yeah, you can drink beer everywhere
Breakfast.
there, so that's good.
Oh yeah.
Is that breakfast?
That was that was sort of a mid morning brunch.
Yeah. Oh, there you know, right?
We had to get in and out quick before they started any plant up. And Sunday morning was a nice quiet day apparently, so we got in and
Correct.
that was into to Belleberg, the main quarry off the road.
Yeah.
That's a bit of fun.
Yeah, that's why I actually put the two together, because it's actually well, they're adjacent.
Yeah. Very good.
All right.
Okay.
If there's
Are your photographs just single shots, or are they?
They are all single shots.
Yeah, they're very good.
And I'll tell you a little secret. It's with cheap equipment.
Yeah.
A USB microscope, which I plug into my computer from China, not even 30 euros.
Nice.
Yeah.
And the free program camera on your laptop, PC, whatever.
More than adequate. No, it's amazing what you can do. I mean, they're perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
Well, there's a lot of the specimens, because you're a systematic collector, there's a lot of the specimens that, I mean, even if you had a really good setup, it's not going to improve the picture that much because they're not that aesthetic as crystals.
No. I'm a systematic collector. I don't really do aesthetics. So
I have fallen into
Once
the
you
aesthetics trap.
get down below a millimeter, it's very hard.
Mm.
So Mark Ferguson, welcome. Unfortunately, you've just missed the talk.
It was a short one today. I'm sorry.
Yes, we started 40 minutes ago. So, all right, no more questions. We'll finish up for today and see you all in a month's time when Henkel
Very
begins.
good. Thanks, Frank.
See you on Saturday, Richard.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you. Good talk.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Frank.
thanks.
Very good, Frank.
Thanks. Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.